So here we look at the ratio. We'll start with the cash operating cycle. So what is the cash operating cycle? Cash operating cycle is the difference between the days of cash invested in current asset and the cash received from current asset. Okay, so cash operating cycle tells you like what is the difference between the day in which the current asset, the cash has been like invested in the current asset, and the day on which the cash has been received from the current asset. So cash has been invested in terms of the raw materials, in terms of work in progress, in terms of finished goods. This is finished goods being stored in your company, and the goods which have been sold on credit, and deducting the paying the creditors. That is the short term, that is the payables that we got from our creditors. Okay, so add all the days of raw material, add the days of work in progress, add the days of finished goods in your godown, add the days of credit sales, deduct the payable days, you get the cash operating cycle. So the lower the cash operating cycle, the better it is for the company. So that is a good for the company. So we look at the formulas here. So inventory holding period lets you know that the length of time inventory is held between the purchase and sale. So the answer is the lower is the better. Raw material inventory holding period lets you the length of time raw materials are held between the purchase and being used in production. Again, lower is the better. Work in progress holding period, the inventory length of time the goods spent in production. Again, lower is better. Finished goods inventory period, the length of time finished goods are held between the completion or purchase and sale. So again, the lower is better. Trade receivable days, the length of time credit is extended to customers, lower is better. Trade payable days, the average period of credit extended by suppliers, this alone, the higher it is, better. So while doing these formulas, we have to understand that there are some notes. For example, if the question requires you to calculate operating cycle in days, then use 365 in the ratio. If it asks for weeks, use 52. And if it asks for months, use 12. Also be cautious. Sometimes question tells you to assume there are 360 days in a year, okay, or 50 weeks in a year. Then use those numbers. Do not use the 365 and 52 and all. So there are also additional notes. If question requires you to calculate a ratio for a single period and gives opening and closing value, then use average value for inventory, receivable, payables, that is opening and closing value. For example, the question gives you data for 2019 and 2020. So the question gives you data for both and asks you to calculate for the 2020 alone. Okay, in that terms, what you'll do, in that terms, you take this as the opening number, this as the closing number, you take an average. Okay, so that will give you the inventory average, the receivable average, and the payable average. If the question requires you to calculate a ratio for two periods and gives opening and closing value, then use the respective value for inventory, receivable, and payables. For example, again, assume that the question gives you 2019 data and 2020 data. So data is available for both, but they ask you to calculate the ratios for both the years. In that terms, what you'll do, in that terms, you don't take an average. You don't take average and all. Rather, you take that year data and compute the ratios. Okay, so you compute 2019 data, you take the 2019 data and compute the ratio for 2019. You take the 2020 data and you compute the 2020 ratio. So that is how you have to work it out. To know whether the operating cycle is better or worse, compare it with previous year or industry or competitor. So we discussed in the formulas that certain ratios are higher the better and lower the better, but you can't say that something like higher is better or lower is better. You have to compare it with the previous year of the company's operation, or with the industry wise average, or with the competitor. Usually this will be given in the question itself. Okay, so ensure that you do this with ask. So we look at the ratio analysis for liquidity. So current ratio, it is measured in a ratio. You have to compare it with the others to find out if it's better or not. It indicates the short-term liquidity. Again, you have quick ratio or acid test ratio. It's measured in ratio. You compare with others. It indicates very short-term liquidity. Position. So inventory days and receivable days and payable days we have already seen. We have also already seen the cash conversion cycle also. So we look at a very important ratio. This ratio is called as working capital turnover ratio. The formula works like this: net sales divided by average net working capital. It's expressed in times. The higher it is, the better. It indicates how well the working capital is utilized. Again, higher is the better. It also you have to compare with the suitable comparator like previous year or industry average or the competitor data. So you have to compare with these and then tell whether it's better or not. We have a quiz. Which of the following transactions would increase the current ratio and decrease the net profit? Whenever you have this kinds of increase in current ratio or decrease in current ratio, it is better that you write and work out the current ratio. So we'll start with the first option. Tax due from the previous year is paid. So we'll assume some number. So current asset is 120, current liability is 100. So the ratio is 1.2. What would happen if the tax is paid? Assume that the tax is something like 20 rupees. So 120 minus 20, because cash is paid, so 20 will move off. The tax is a liability, so you deduct here from 20. So you get an answer like 100 divided by 80. Your number is moving to 1.25. So will it be like correct to say that it has moved? Is it increasing the current ratio? Yes, current ratio gets increased. Does it decrease the net profit? It does not decrease the net profit, because the tax due would have been already deducted in the previous year. So this year's net profit does not get deducted. So this is not the answer. So the next option is share purchase. So if you purchase share, your current asset would go down. Okay. So if your current asset goes down, it will only decrease the current ratio. So this is not the answer. So we look at the scrip dividend. Scrip dividend is paid. So if you pay a scrip dividend, it does not affect your current asset nor your current liability. So this is not the choice. So the choice should obviously be D. But still we'll work out D. Machine is sold for less than the net book value. So machine is a fixed asset, so it will not affect our current asset. But when we sell it, our current asset will increase. For example, if you take that machine worth is something like 80 rupees, our numerator will become 200. So 200 by 100, it will give us 2. So this part of the question is correct. But will it decrease our net profit? See, machine is sold for less than the book value. So if the book value is 100 and if it is sold for 80, okay, that is what is the 80 that we have marked it here. It means it is a loss. You're going to sell 100 worth of assets for 80. You're going to incur a loss. So that would decrease your net profit. So this is the right option. So the option should be D, and the option is D. So we have another quiz. The company has a current ratio of 1.5. The company has a cash surplus and has decided to pay its trade payables after 20 days in future rather than 40 days as it has in the past. How this will affect the company's current ratio and working capital cycle. So we'll work out like this. So we'll start with current ratio. Current ratio is CA by CL. So we'll take current asset as 120 and current liabilities as 100. So the answer comes to 1.2. So what he says surplus cash is being repaid. So we'll assume that the surplus cash is 20 rupees and they have paid the payables of 20 rupees. The answer comes to 100 divided by 80. So the answer comes to 1.25. So if they do this, they are paying the trade receivables with surplus cash, that will increase the current ratio from 1.2 to 1.25. So current ratio will increase. So A and B can be the choice. So the operating cycle works like this: inventory plus receivable minus payable days. So this is the operating cycle days. We'll assume some days for operating cycle. For example, we take 100 as for inventory, some 20 for receivable days, and minus 40 because the earlier payable days was 40. We'll see the answer. The answer comes to 80 days. So the new policy is let this be 100, this also be 20, but the new payable days is going to be 20. So the answer comes to 100. Okay. So there is an increase in the operating cycle days. So it is an increase. So option A and C are being chosen here. But among these, this is the only one which is like both the options are right. So answer should be A. So we got the answer. So if you get a question like this, you have to assume some numbers, okay, and you have to work out. But assumption should not be in all the numbers, because if he has given you certain numbers like here, here, and here, you have to use them and solve it. So it's all about practice makes perfect. You can reach me at my website wowacademics.com, or you can also see my Quora answers. I am active in LinkedIn and in Facebook page. So you can visit at these places. If you just type Shyam Prasad and Wow Academics, you will get all these links in Google search itself. And if you like this video, give a like, share to your friends, and if you feel that any points we have missed in this video, you can post it. We will try to give an answer to you in the comment section itself, or we'll also create another video for you. So thank you for watching our video.